Dugan, I know. Just stall or something. I have something I have to do. Hello. I felt the need to update after some things have happened. I'm coming to you from my private headquarters on the Shield helicarrier. First of all, I wanted to talk about what I've been up to. Team Alpha and I have been scouring the globe looking for different terrorist factions. There's been over 40 in the last month that have broken off, and they're all funded by one individual whom I have good reason to believe is Karim Najib, #1 public enemy. He's a peace activist by day, but I have a feeling he supports terrorism by night, and he's the reason for a lot of our headaches around here. Unfortunately, we lost him over China, and that makes me even more uneasy because that region and I have a back history about a mile long. We have to find him, but I mean, when I'm trying to do that, I have all this stuff, and Dugan calling me, looking for me on the deck, and all kinds of stuff. I mean, being director of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't all it's cracked up to be sometimes. On the home front, I have Luke Cage and the New Avengers, and I have Stephen Strange on my doorstep, stowing away on the helicarrier. And I had a visit from Wolverine the other day, which I was kind of expecting, but basically we had a chat about Steve's death, and I just hope that now all the heroes that were in denial have a messenger. And the message that I'd like to extend is one of acceptance. It takes time for people, it takes different amounts of time, and I'm still shaken up, but I guess I mean, once we move on and begin to accept it, I think then we can finally go about our business, and that's what Steve would have wanted. Now I'm going to move on to some of your concerns. First of all, Voice of the Empire, who stated that while nobody blames me directly, and I'll have you know that some people do, there was an indirect way of me causing Captain America's death. I'd just like to say that Steve knew that the punishment for what he was doing was indictment and jail time. And I mean, both sides fought as hard as they could for what they believed in. Steve believed in what he was doing, and I believed in my side of things, and we were busy. I mean, both sides were escalating, and Steve realized that unless he backed down, there would be no stop to this. And one thing that Luke and the others don't realize is that he saw this escalation, and he saw where this could go, and he stepped down. And I encourage them all to do the same, and join up with the Avengers, or we would be glad to have them. But unfortunately, the best thing I can say is the Skull would have taken his shot whenever he could get a chance. He's also one person we're on the lookout for. I mean, I'm angry about Cap and hurt and still very shaken up. So don't think that we're just letting the Skull run free. Finally, on the AllSpark forums, I want to thank John Nemo for spreading my message. I see he's the #1 Cap fan. He's also shaken up. I noticed a lot of users were a little upset that I'm not using too much humor when I was talking about Cap last week. I don't think that's a funny subject. I don't feel that's something that you should joke about. With that being said, I also want to address the Evergreen's concern that I use a thesaurus between every other word. Let me just let you know, the Evergreen, that while I don't have a thesaurus on hand, I do have a nice Spanish to English dictionary for anybody who habla español. So while I don't have a thesaurus, I do have ways of communicating, if you don't like the way that I communicate. What's that? Maya? Oh, I have to go to the lab. Excuse me.